Welcome. Thank you for coming on to the show. I'm really glad to have you here. You do so much and you balance so much, and you're amazing. So I was wondering if you could introduce yourself and tell everyone what you do.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Sherry. My name is Yiqing. I'm an award-winning filmmaker, actor. I also have a coaching business for artists and entrepreneurs. And my journey did not start with any of these. I was a medical student in China. I came here for my master's in public health and then started acting, just decided that's what I wanted to do. And then during the pandemic, when we lost theaters, we could not perform. I'm like, okay, let me find a different creative outlet. And that's when I started making films. And I've made 4 shorts, and I am currently, developing my first feature. So that's where I'm at.
Wow, that's amazing. That's quite a journey, and it's very interesting, right? You went from medical all the way to artistry, though I guess medicine is an art in its own way. So I was wondering if you could talk a little bit. We don't really promote services here, but just a little bit about what exactly someone who helps artists, who coaches artists, who advises them, what that does for someone, just so we all know what it is.
Yeah, I actually don't advise anything. My relationship with my clients is that I trust that you have the best answers, but my job is to help you find that answer within you. It cannot come from me. You're living your life. But what they usually do is that they have a different like thought, what I call thought errors, meaning
Okay.
that they think something and they think it's true, but actually it's probably not true. And they are stopped by these thoughts because they believe they're true. So I help them debunk a lot of the limiting beliefs, thought errors. I help them get organized with specific plans. I use scales to help them figure out exactly how much I want any of these things so that they get a clearer picture of basically just gaining clarity. And
Right.
also, I hold them accountable, of course, because they talk to me. And yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's good. It's good to be held accountable by
Oh,
someone,
yeah.
because it's very easy, right, to get sucked into other things and then, oops, I hear people post all the time, I'm looking for an accountability partner, etc. So that's really great. It's interesting too, because I was watching a video actually posted by a musician, Daniel Bennett. He was talking about how people stop themselves by just not putting themselves out there. There's fear, there's this inability to just do it. And you've been jumping in, and I'm obviously I wasn't there with you day to day. Maybe you were having meltdowns all the time. I don't know, but you seem like you were just jumping in and doing it. You're not afraid to move into filmmaking from theater, just to try it. And it's interesting because that's kind of how I started out. I was a performer, and then I moved into making films. And I literally just bought a camera, and I learned a lot that, you can't just shoot. There's more to it. But I just jumped in. And I think that's why I keep propelling forward, because I try not to second guess myself. So can you talk a
Mhm.
little bit more about how you do that in your life? How do you just say, okay, I'm going to make a film when you've never done that before?
I think some of it is really personality, you know, but some of it is also just it's also from experience. Like when I got into acting, or even when I immigrated to the United States, like I had nobody here, no connection, zero family. All I had was 2 suitcases adding up to my body weight and $3,000 cash in my pocket.
Oh,
That's
wow.
it.
Yeah.
So, so that's that. And I think another thing is that once you know that, yes, you do get scared, I'm not fearless, although my production company is called Fearless Cutie Pie Productions, but I'm not fearless. I just know that that's exactly where I need to go. Like it's telling me it's not there for nothing. It's not there to stop you. It's there to tell you this is your next step. Because fear nowadays, it's when you look at it, it's like, it's caveman biology, caveman wiring is that, oh, if I do this, am I going to be eaten by a bear or something?
Right.
You're not going to be eaten by a bear. You're not going to lose you know, but it's the same thing. It's the same part of your brain getting activated, except that now more like, oh, that is an unknown territory and I've never done that. But you just got to know that's exactly what you are going to do next. That's literally, I'm a spiritual, so I say universe. That's literally the universe telling you that is your next step. I know you don't know where you want to go or where you should be going, whatever. That's your next step because you're scared of that. That's so you go towards that way.
So I also wanted to ask you about your podcast, right? I know you do a podcast. So could you just tell everybody what it is, where to find it? And I'm assuming it's free. I feel like I went on for free.
Oh, it's free. It's free. It's called Creative Genius Captivated Podcast. It's available on all major platforms, Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitch, everywhere. But I actually paused the podcast for a bit because I might change courses, even with the podcast itself, or because now I'm focusing on making the feature and everything. I think I might want to bring more aspects of that. So that's why, but I have like 20 something episodes. Some of them are interviews, some of them are my teaching about how to, like, the fear part, how to really recognize how your brain is working, things like that. So yeah, you can find it on all major platforms, and you can just binge it.
Perfect. Everybody loves to binge.